Hi, my name is Maida. I work at the University of Utah Hospital. I've been working on the pulmonary floor for a year now, and the pulmonary floor is all to do with lungs, and so we've been getting a few vaping injury patients in the hospital, and so we're here to talk about vaping and how it's harmful to your health.
And my name is Deborah. I'm a nurse on the neuroscience trauma unit at Primary Children's Hospital, and I work a lot with teenagers who have made some pretty poor decisions and that's led to injury. So I'm here to talk to you guys about vaping because I want you to stay safe.
And this is Patricia. I'm the nurse for 5 years. I work most in the cardiac unit, and I see a lot cardiac problem related to smoking and vaping. To add, we're going to use the CDC presentation to present to you to inform you guys about the harmful the habits of vaping. It came out that not long ago. We wouldn't want to inform you guys because it came out with a marking of being not harmful and being safe, but that's not the truth. We want to give you more information about how they can compromise your health. So we're going to use the CDC PowerPoint so we get more information to you guys.
So here's a quiz question to get started. Is it true or false that some e-cigarettes are safe for youth? That is definitely false.
So no matter what you call it, it is an e-cigarette. So you are probably familiar about those devices. It came in those pods, a little pen. They look really cool, but in reality, they are really the chemicals that compose the materials used to make those devices to vaping. They're very harmful. We're gonna go ahead and talk about more into.
So here's just more information how it explains that these devices heat a liquid into an aerosol that you're inhaling and also exhaling. And the liquid is actually oil-based, and so it's really harmful for your lungs. So your lungs, when you're breathing in and out, there's an exchange of gases, and in those gases is oxygen, which you know that you need to be alive. So when you're inhaling these oil-based chemicals from vaping, you're really coating your lungs in this oil. And when you think about it, oil and water do not mix well. If you put oil in a cup of water and you shake it up, they separate, they stay separate. And the oil stays on top. So when you think about it, if you're lining your lungs have water, and the oil is coating them on the outside. So that impairs that oxygen gas exchange. And so then you no longer can breathe. You have difficulty breathing. And then you're going to start requiring additional oxygen at the hospital. And then even if we're giving you oxygen, if you have that barrier of oil not permitting the oxygen to actually transfer into your body, then it's useless. And this is one of the things that can lead to death.
So here's another quiz question for you. Is it true or false that most e-cigarettes contain nicotine? And that is true.
And here's some more information in case you guys are not too familiar with what nicotine is. It is colorless. That one is water soluble, but it's highly toxic. It's an alkaloid, so that's a base, and it is found in tobacco. And the really important one or interesting one is that it's an insecticide. So this is what you're inhaling, an insecticide, and toxic.
And here's a couple of the pH in your body. Your pH is usually 7.4, which is neutral, and then that's most of allow the metabolic process in your body. So it really doesn't matter if you get the Juul, which is a nicotine salt, which is acidic, or the base-free nicotine is alkaline. So either way on that scale, extremity with those two devices or product can cause either alkaline or acidic. It can cause disrupt your natural process in your body, causing cells problems, metabolic process is going to be difficult for your body to process those chemicals. So either way in the scale, if it's acidic or basic, it's going to cause harm because your body functions as a neutral pH. And those devices and chemicals, they disturb your natural processes in your body.
And in addition, when you think about in your chemistry class, and you guys have to be so careful with acids and bases and getting them on your skin because they can burn your skin. So when you think about it, you're inhaling acids or bases when you're using cigarettes or vaping products. So you're basically irritating and burning your throat
and lungs.
And Juul has become one of the most popular types of e-cigarettes on the market, and they sell these pods that contain the e-cigarette liquid. Just one of those pods has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes, so as much nicotine as 20 cigarettes.
Another quiz question, true or false, does nicotine harm brain development?
We're going to have Jabra answer that one for us because she's in the neuro.
So that is definitely true. So nicotine is a chemical that is highly addictive. It can also harm the parts of your brain that help you control your attention. It affects your learning, your mood, your impulse control. And those are all really important for you as you are growing and developing. Especially think about how hard it will be in school if your attention span has been affected, your learning has been affected, if you can't control your mood swings, which is already difficult enough as teenagers, and it makes your school life, your social life, it makes everything more difficult.
And nicotine also leads to addiction, and we just mentioned in the previous slides that it has more nicotine than regular cigarettes. So this just adds up to making vaping e-cigarette users more prone to actually smoking regular cigarettes in the future because it can lead to high addiction. And here's another quiz question. Do e-cigarettes create a harmless water vapor, true or false?
False.
So e-cigarettes make an aerosol, not a vapor. And we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier how it's oil-based and it's really damaging to the lungs. Whatever you're inhaling as well as what you're exhaling, they contain very harmful substances. They have cancer-causing chemicals, and as we all know, just regular cigarettes have caused lung cancer in the past. And then all the flavoring chemicals that they use to be appealing to the young population, they're all really harmful substances.
And just an interest fact that I was researching about, because I don't vape, so I had to actually educate myself on that subject, and I make sure I got like a very knowledgeable source of information, not just Google, but people that actually search about the subject. So even the nicotine flavor vaping, even the chemicals that's in that device, it can cause, and usually they add like formaldehyde and aldehyde. They're like very cancerous chemicals, and they're very unstable if you mix them. Like I heard about people mixing their own flavoring to mix different flavors, so that can be really dangerous because you mixing chemicals that you don't even know how they're gonna react with itself. So all the substances that the chemicals they're putting in, even the flavor, they will be harming your lungs. They're harmful. So.
And then people are being poisoned by e-cigarette liquids, either by inhaling or through their skin or their eyes. And this chart shows how many phone calls the Poison Control Center has gotten since e-cigarettes have become more and more popular. And this graph just ends in 2014, so I'm sure if we extended that to 2019, it would continue to climb.
And over here, going back to the mixing chemicals and then how unstable and then how dangerous it can be vaping. Just the chemicals, but the device itself. This poor man here have the device explode in his face, and then, to be honest, the pictures speak to themselves. I actually just researched a case of this guy in Texas that was he went on with his daily activity, vaping, and the device exploded in his face, and he had to take him to the hospital where he stayed for 2 days and ended up dying afterwards from his explosion of his vaping device. So what happened? He had like the arteries of his neck exploded and caused him a stroke, and then unfortunately he passed away after. So I don't think we want that happen to you guys. So.
So this shows how popular smoking e-cigarettes has become in the youth of today. So just from the year 2017 to 2018, e-cigarette use doubled among high school students.
And it's not only high school students, it's also middle school and maybe even younger. We've seen some patients as young as 12 and 13 years old be admitted for vaping-related lung injuries. So just, be careful with all the advertising that's, around as it being not harmful. And it sounds appealing, but when you look at the side effects, those are not appealing. And here are some more examples of advertising. It shows that it can be a cool thing to do. It's in fashion right now. It's, you look cool when you do it. It's not harmful to your health. Those are all the things that are being advertised. But just be aware of all these facts that we're giving you. Look it up on reliable sources like the CDC, and just be safe and stay away from those things.
Okay, pop quiz. True or false? The tobacco industry is in the e-cigarette game.
And that is true. So let's talk about when tobacco started. And when it started back in the old days, it's supposed to treat asthma, and then people start to smoke, and then we start to see the side effects of smoking on your body. And then actually it was a decrease of the smoking habit because all the research and all the people get lung cancer from smoking. But now the marketing, the industry, the nicotine industry had to make money. They don't want to lose their money, so they brought up the vaping, the e-cigarettes, and target as younger adults to be cool, and then calling to be safe than cigarettes, which is right now with more cases coming up, people getting more sick about from vaping. So we're discovering that's not true. They're lying to you. That's not true. The vaping is not safe and then very, very harmful. We have been talking about the chemicals put in and the devices, the nicotine levels. So they actually just find a way to actually keeping money on your health. So be smart and be aware of those false advertisements.
So flavor use is very prominent among the youth of today, and it's just another way that the tobacco industry is getting you guys. They know that you guys like these flavors, and the majority of teenagers who vape are using flavors.
Be tobacco free. If you know someone that's vaping, maybe they're not fully aware of the dangers, and I believe most of people get into vaping because they really think it's safe for you, and then we find out that's not the truth. And there's some apps that you can download on your smartphone. We all know everybody pretty much have a smartphone nowadays, and that can help you to quit smoking for good. So search out, there's help for you out there in your community, but go CDC, talk to a friend, get reliable source of information and help, so you can help a friend or even help yourself to quit tobacco or vaping.
And if you are currently vaping or smoking, just be aware of who's surrounding you, because secondhand exposure is just as dangerous. So be very aware of young kids that can be around you, even regular adults or older adults. Just if you're going to be doing it, just be very aware of your surroundings. But the main thing is just don't start it. And also, if you see somebody smoking, try to go around them. Don't walk right through so you're not inhaling those chemicals.
You can also help your school become a tobacco-free zone. Your school may or may not already claim that they're a smoking-free campus, but just learn what your administration has done to help your school become tobacco-free, and you can become an advocate for it as well.
And spread the good news, the knowledge. Right now, I hope you were aimed with good information about the truth about vaping. So go ahead, we're giving this information, but we want you to keep it to yourself. We want actually to be active, to be involved, to spread. We as a nurse, we do care about health, because we know without being healthy, we cannot do anything else in your life. Your health is very, very important, by the way. So if you can't breathe, you can't play sport, you cannot attending like a concert, if you like music, if you like dancing. You need a good lungs to do those daily activity. If you can't breathe and be stuck in the hospital sick, you're going to miss out a lot of your fun in your life. And we're here to make sure you have a good life and be healthy enough to do those things that you like. Except vaping.
Yeah. So just, let your friends know, your family members, just, let everybody know about the information that you're learning. And so as a wrap up, so e-cigarettes heat a liquid that is oil-based, and they produce an aerosol that you're inhaling and exhaling, and you're covering your lungs with that oil-based product. So it's very dangerous and harmful for your lungs and overall health.
It also affects your brain development, which is very important at your age, as you're thinking about applying to schools and going on to whatever occupation interests you. Your learning will be affected, your behavior, your social life. It affects every area of your life.
Even your cardiac. So a lot of inflammation can cause in arteries and can lead to cardiac disease. So be aware of those harmful process of vaping.
And the way that they're advertising is they're using flavoring and false advertising that it's not harmful. But the main thing that they're doing is they're producing all these appealing flavors so that you guys can be interested and start in this. So just be aware of that and don't fall into that trap.
More we can do about vaping, get involved, and spread the knowledge that you have it now, and don't get yourself vaping if you're not, and help your friends to quit as well. Get involved. We're here to help each other.
And the most important thing is it's not safe for kids, teens, young adults, or even old adults. It's just not safe for anybody. So stay tobacco-free, vaping-free, cigarette smoking-free.
And thank you so much for listening to us. We really appreciate your time.
And if you guys have any other questions, just look up reliable resources and you can find information there.